Now, let's switch gears, because along this same vein, we've got similar problems in New York City. Realize we've got Mondami poised to win the New York City mayor's race, which is extremely scary considering just how evil and vile this man is and everybody who he's connected to. So I want to switch gears just a little bit because, again, there are Black Americans in New York starting to wake up to this fact too, that you've got somebody being foisted upon them and that this person is not a good person, let alone not a good candidate. Not saying he's not running a good race from a let's garner all the fringe voters we can get and cobble them together. No, not that. Not that he's not shrewd, not that he's not a tactician, but that he's not a good candidate to be the mayor of New York. All right, let's dive right in. I really appreciate everybody rolling up so far. Thank you so much. Please smash that like button for me. If you haven't already subscribed to Courageous Media, please do so and smash that like button, hit the thumbs up for me. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And please leave a comment. Let us know you're here in the comments. Again, appreciate it. Let's dive right into this. We got this video. You're going to love this video first off, and we will get rolling with who is the real Zohran Mamdani.
So never has the Black vote ever been as important to Democrats as it is right now in this New York City mayoral election. But interestingly enough, you don't really see the leading candidate talking to Black folks. And I'll just say the so-called leading candidate. But here's the interesting part. Black people have been, for the most part, pretty silent this election cycle. And I think that's noticeable. And I think one of the reasons why they've been so quiet this election is because they're starting to realize, we are all starting to realize that our collective interests have been wholly ignored by Democrats. And especially the ultra progressive wing that we see that is taking over the Democrat Party. A lot of our so-called progressive allies continue to push politics that have an imminent destructive impact on the Black community. Yet when you try to pull their coat to it and try to make them aware, hey, if you do that, that's going to have a harmful impact on us. You know what those white progressives do that are out there screaming and yelling with the blue hair? You know what they do when you try to warn them about the dangers of their policies? They laugh at you. They tell you, you being a Black person, that you're being divisive, that you're even a racist, or you're a phobe, you're a transphobe, you're a homophobe, you're anti-immigrant. But notice, I think Black people are really starting to see that the pro-civil rights people and the justice warriors have walked away from the Black community at large.
So you've got Mondami out there. So you've got Black Americans that are basically waking up and realizing that this whole thing is a scam, that the progressive Democrat liberals have absolutely destroyed their community. And anytime a Black American stands up and espouses anything slightly different than the ultra-left progressive wing of the Democrat Party, they are labeled as a transphobe, a homophobe, an Islamophobe. They're labeled as an Uncle Tom. They're labeled as the black face of white supremacy, as they called Larry Elder. Meanwhile, the progressive liberals are destroying their communities, destroying their neighborhoods, destroying the Black family. And they're just supposed to toe the line. Well, they've had enough. They're waking up to the fact. And right now you've got the working class Blacks and the working class Hispanics in New York are saying, hell no, we're done with this. We don't want any of this. But what Mondami has managed to do is cobble together all of the white liberals, all of the ultra progressives. He's cobbled together a lot of the students and a lot of the young people because he ran on free things and pro-Gaza, pro-Hamas, which really resonates with liberal young voters. Doesn't resonate with conservative young voters, but certainly with liberal young voters. So we've got a shift happening in New York, but right now, the problem is I don't think it's enough of a shift to basically carry Cuomo or Sliwa, because Sliwa's still in there, to victory. It's very much looking like you're going to end up with an Islamist, jihadist, communist mayor of New York City, which is going to be really, really bad for Black Americans. Because remember where they took all of the illegal immigrants when they showed up in New York. Did they take them to the Upper East Side? Did they take them to White Plains? Did they take them out to the Hamptons? No, they put them in Black communities. They took Black community centers and turned them into refugee centers. They took schools and turned them into refugee centers. Meanwhile, they took they took other illegal immigrants and put them up in 5-star hotels, gave them cash cards, EBT cards, free phones. And the Black Americans and the Hispanic Americans who had been here stood up and took notice and said, wait a minute, we didn't get any of that stuff. Not that we needed that stuff, but why would you give it to illegal criminal aliens? And they're waking up. But is it enough in these last days before the election to actually make a dent? Now, the other thing about the Mondami campaign is that everything he stands for has essentially been astroturf lies. He's been out there running. He ran on a completely communist agenda, which that is true. But all the things he talks about, wanting freedom of religion and wanting to embrace with Jewish people and loving America, all that is lies. And I've got 2 clips that I want to show you that highlight just how much he has been lying on the campaign trail and how evil and dangerous this man is. So check out this one lie told about, I believe it was his aunt. It's really interesting just how he has tried to hide his past from the New York voter. Check this out.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt, who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Oh, the fake tears. My aunt stopped taking the subway because she was afraid to wear her hijab. Come to find out, it has been revealed that the aunt, shed fake tears over, actually neither wore a hijab nor lived in New York City. She lived in Tanzania. This whole thing, he's an absolute fraud. He is a fakester. He is as big a Manchurian candidate as Obama was, even bigger. He is a liar. Now, also realize that this is who raised him. I want you to check out this clip from Zohran Mamdani's father as he talks about America. These are the same views that Mamdani has about America. Make no mistake about it. We need to call our friends in New York and tell them to get out and vote for anybody but Mondami if they want to have a city left in 2 years. Check this out.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized 2 things. One, that genocide was doable. It is possible to do genocide. That's what Hitler realized. Second thing Hitler realized is that you don't have to have a common citizenship. You can differentiate between people. The Nuremberg laws were patterned after American laws. Anyway, the U.S. put Indians in reservations. The U.S. invented the model.
So here you've got Zohran Mamdani's father telling you that America is the root of all evil, that Abraham Lincoln put people in camps and on reservations. Now, he's got his facts completely wrong. The German Nazi Party did not look to Abraham Lincoln for inspiration. They did not look to America in general for inspiration. When it came to the final solution for the Jews, where did they look? They looked to the progressive wing of the Democrat Party. They looked to what the progressives had done in terms of Jim Crow. Specifically, they looked at Jim Crow and what American progressive Democrats had done with that. Now, so he calls America the root of all evil. He basically says that, America has taught the entire world, and that now we don't have to have e pluribus unum. No. The Islamists, the jihadists in America, as Mondami is one, do not want assimilation. They want a completely Balkanized culture. They don't want a fake Balkanization like the progressives have been doing to America for the last 50 years, where they pit black against white, against Hispanic, against Christian against. No. They want actual balkanization. They want no assimilation. They want to do to America what they've been doing to Europe, where you have entire enclaves of Islamists in their country who do not speak their language, do not ascribe to their laws, actually try to get elected in local elections and then bring about Sharia in their localities. And right now they're realizing that America is up for that fight, that we will not allow Sharia to be the law in any local community because it violates the Constitution of the United States. But this is Mondami's father. This is who Mondami identifies with. This is what he's about. But it's not just that. Check out the Mondami voters, okay? And how do we know this person that I'm going to show you is a Mondami voter? Well, he's wearing a hot girls for Mondami, even though he's a freaking dude. This is who they are. Realize the masks are coming off. It's the show your ass theory in full bore. Check this out.
You turn on a nasty Israeli song.
You're talking. He's attacking us. Can you please have somebody?
That's a lie. You're monsters.
Because I'm a Jew.
Realize what he's screaming about. Somebody turned on Israeli music. How do you know it's Israeli? I have no idea. They turned on Jewish music. How do you know it's Jewish? I have no idea. Now, maybe there's music that's generally Middle Eastern versus music that's, classical European or, Indian or, East Asian. I mean, you can tell specific genres, but he's going off on the fact that they played music. Are you kidding me? Calling them monsters, shouting F-bombs. This is who the Mondami voters are. Again, the white liberal knuckleheads. This is who they are. They're absolutely disgusting, egregious people. Now, a couple more clips to hammer home the point of what is going on, right? So check this out from a Mondami Kathy Hochul rally. I want you to watch. It's not very long, but watch till the end and pay attention to what the crowd of Mondami faithful start shouting. This is scary stuff.
Down and we get up stronger, and more resilient than ever before. Woo! I'll be fighting every day with my partners on the same side. I'm Stuart Cousins.
Tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Guess what the rich are going to do in New York? They're going to leave. In today's economy, you can pick up most of the businesses in New York City are not, not asset intensive businesses. They're office building intensive businesses. You can pick up those businesses and move them to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, Texas, Florida, anywhere you want, almost overnight. It's easy stuff. It's not like you've got to pick up, equipment and move it somewhere. It's not like you've got to build a new factory. Most of those office companies, office jobs can get easily relocated. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Right now, the wealthy and the smart in New York are preparing for a mass exodus because they won't live under Mondami. The only people who will be stuck in New York are those who do not have the wherewithal to leave, those who are in 9-to-5 jobs, those who do not have big giant savings, the Hispanic Americans, the Black Americans, the blue collar workers of every style and shape. They're the ones who are going to be stuck in New York, who are going to be the victims of the Mondami policies. And what is it that Mondami really wants? Does Mondami really want, I mean, is he really all about, some state-owned grocery stores? Yes, he is. But even more than that, check out what Mondami is really all about, what his true agenda is. Here we go.
Alhamdulillah, there are 1 million Muslims in this city. 200,000 of us are registered to vote as Democrats. In the last election, only 7% of us voted. Now, I will not blame anyone because often it feels like there isn't much to vote for. But this June 24th, with early voting starting tomorrow, it is an opportunity for us to show that Muslims don't just belong in New York City, we also belong in City Hall. Because yesterday I stood on the debate and Andrew Cuomo stood next to me. And here was a man who was the governor for a decade, and he could not name a single mosque he had ever visited. He could not name it because he does not care.
Exactly. Because in general, in many cases, Islam is in direct contravention of the US Constitution. If you are a true adherent of Islam and you want Sharia law, that is in direct contravention of the US Constitution. So what Mondami really wants is Islamists in control in New York. That's what it sounds like to me. You let me know in the comments what you thought of his little talk right there. And the communist, socialist, Islamist policies that Mondami is pushing are not limited to New York. Check out Mikey Sherrill. Now, it's a little bit different tact, but here is the same idea. This authoritarian, we have our globalist agenda and we are going to shove it down your throat, whether you like it or not. Even if it's anti-Constitution, even if it's anti-American, even if it's anti-working class, we are going to shove it down your throat. Check out this from Mikey Sherrill, because this is the new face. These are the new faces of the Democrat Party. The Ilhan Omars, the AOCs, the Zohran Mamdanis, the Mikey Sherrills, and that's why we need to soundly defeat them in these midterm, in these special or these off-term elections for Virginia governor, New Jersey governor, and if possible, New York mayor. But check this out.
I believe that parents have the right to oversee their children's education. I would push an LGBTQ education into our schools. Parents have a right to opt out of a lot of things, but this is not an area where they should be opting out, because this is an area of understanding the background of people throughout our nation. And right now we see, for example, at the Naval Academy, an erasure of history.
So, I believe that parents should be able to opt out of stuff, but not really. No. I'm gonna play lip service to what I think parents want to hear. That yeah, you can opt out. Oh, except for LGBTQ, except for the one biggest, most important thing that parents want to opt out of: the sexualization of their children, the LGBTQ, ismification of their children. For lack, I can't even think of a word, but the gender transition ideology training of their children. The one thing they really do want to opt out of, no, you can't opt out of that. No, we are going to jam that down your throat. We are going to take the ultra left wing, ultra immoral, progressive element of our party, of our platform, and we are going to shove it down your children's throat, and you have nothing that you can say about it. This is the Democrat Party. This is who they are. Thanks everybody for being here. Let me say that. Please smash that like button for me, subscribe, turn on the notifications. And if you like this content, please share Courageous Media with everybody that you know so that we can get the word out. But to my friends in New Jersey, in Virginia, in New York, get out and vote. Drag 10 people with you. Get out and vote. If you're in New York, you've got to defeat Mondami, or basically life in New York is over until they can flip the script there. But at least in Virginia and New Jersey, you've got a chance. You've got a chance to elect people that will not transition your children, that will not sexualize your children, that will not completely destroy your economies. Get out, get Jack Chittarelli in there, get Winsome Sears in there, get out and vote. Now, again, I really appreciate everybody rolling up.